Hello guys, I'm Utkarsh and this video is about processing the bubble and lobster claw nebula that has been shot by Mr. Panagiotis using the RASA 8-inch and the ASI 1600 mono cooled CMOS camera. So I think this was shot from a moderate LP skies, World 5 around, and he shared these files for me to work on these targets. So I will be showing you how my quick workflow is for Narrowband, and I have also described how you could use Photoshop to create the color palette that you wish to describe in your mind. For example, if you want to make a SHO or HOO, you could do that easily in Photoshop too. But right now we will be simply using the channel combination to combine the all three masters here. So let's begin by just simply checking our SHO files here, and you could see we do have some nice details visible in all three master stack. And now I will apply DBE to the individual files here. So I'll be going to process background modelization, dynamic background extraction. So I'll first begin with HA. I'll first name this as H alpha, and then I'll start placing some sample points here. I like to choose around 90, the bigger the better in some cases, not all to be honest. So we'll just randomly place some sample points here, maybe here too, and then we would check how this image is going to behave. So let me just SDF, and yeah, I think it's a bit more balanced compared to the previous image. So I'm going to just keep this here, close this one. Now apply the DBE to O3, increase the tolerance to around 2, place some random points here, and set the smoothing factor to 0.6. So correction to subtraction, and now we are done with the O3 DBE part. I'll set the identifier to O3. Now same for the S2. I could have saved, now people would say that I could have saved the process here, but you might notice that there are regions which are more darker compared to the H alpha images, so I have to apply DBE differently every time I click on this data set. So this is not an individual RGB that has been debated or something like that, so I need to individually apply the dynamic background extraction. So also DB is not a one-time job. You need to apply it until you feel that your image is completely nice, and even in every term. So do not quit doing DB. You could see how big the change is here. Now we do have an even illuminated field all across here. So I'll just close the previous image here and just rename this again as S2. So I'll just simply combine these image using the channel combination method. HA in green, S2 in red, and O3 in blue. And you could see that our image is prepared. I need to first unlink the channels, and here you could see the change in our image, and it's nicely visible, the classic SHO green dominated image here. So the image right now is not stretched and it has a bluish tinge or cast in our image, so I'll just do a simple DB to remove that. Now we need to check. Yes. Okay, so now I'll save this as new folder bubble 3, and this will be our linear SHO. This is for the stars here, and I'll save this as 16-bit, and then I will close the previous images. But I could save the H alpha here, HADBE, maybe for using this as a luminance. So now I will try to run the correct magenta stars here, and you could see that we have managed to correct our purplish stars here. So I'll just go back and save this again. I forgot that before saving, so just need to quickly overwrite this file. And now we could begin by converting or giving the first non-linear stretch using the histogram transformation tool. So I'll just start off by simply and I won't try to stretch it till death, but I'll try it somewhere near this around, and I'll just try to set my black points to just for a second here. and I think this much seems good. So now I'll just save this image as non-linear SHO and save this as 16-bit, of course. Then I would go to the StarNet 2, the updated version, and just remove the stars from my image for further processing in the Photoshop. So I'll pause the video right now and then come back when it's done. So guys, I'm back and it was pretty quick with this new StarNet, and I will save this image as starless, and you could see how clean this is, Mrs. Nick. And you could see here that how no artifacts are present here, unlike the previous StarNet that we used to see. So I'll just save this as starless and just go to Photoshop here, and I'll open all the 3 files that would be used. So now our step would be sharpening this lot here and this region. So first of all, I would use the high pass filter by changing the image mode to soft light, then going to filter and high pass, and you could see here that the high pass filter is being applied to the pebble and the lobster claw nebula here. So I do not want this whole background to be sharpened, so I'll just use the eraser here and it will avoid sharpening anything else, while you could see here that I'm erasing all other regions that I do not wish to sharpen. So I'll just quickly remove all other regions here, and maybe I will copy this once again. And now we need to apply a bit of noise reduction using the Noiseware software, and to other people you could use the TGV denoise, but I'm showing you how you could do that in Photoshop too. So now we have applied noise reduction to our image. Then I will use this local contrast enhancement on my starless image to get those dark structure. You could say add some more sharpness or contrast to the image here, and you could see the change that we have brought to our image data here. And now I will just rotate this image so we have an even and nice view that we would like. It's my personal preference. I will also rotate this, and then I will copy this image and paste this on top using lighten mode, and you could see that we have even managed to get a nice image without affecting the region very much, because the stars are very much responsible for hiding the dust here. And now to normalize that even further, I will use this here, and maybe I'll just go to around, add more stars for the background here, and use the eraser tool to erase the unwanted addition of the stars here. So I do not want the stars to be back here, so I will only allow them in these regions. So you could see that we have some nice colorful stars with the popped up nebulosity. So with these simple steps here, I mean, I did nothing fancy, no pixel math operation or nothing else. You could easily perform this in Photoshop. We did nothing, just clever blending, and you have some nice colors. So you could remove that green by running SCNR or anything you prefer. For example, I'm using the Deep Sky Colors HLVG. So here I could get some changes. Some more. These colors could be further adjusted. I'll just try to run dust and scratches screen mask inverts here. Apply this image as screen mask and then invert 30%, and maybe I'll crop this image. Okay, so now I will try to adjust this further by adjusting the levels adjustments, and then some more color correction using the selective colors for whatever colors you like. It's totally up to you what palette you decide for your image. It's totally up to you guys. So need to crop it a little bit more. And maybe I could use the Star Spikes Pro program to highlight some of the stars in my image here. So I'll try doing that. Only 1 or 2 stars, that's it. Won't be. Okay, so this is nearly done. We could try shadows and highlights here to adjust some colors, or I could keep it very simple, and you could see the detail which has been resolved in bubble using these simple steps in Photoshop. We just did DB, then combination, and after combination we gave the first non-linear stretch, then we removed the stars, and after that we combined the stars in lighten mode, and with the help of lighten mode we gave the nebulosity a more popped up look to our image here. And you could see our balance, our background is more balanced. We have some nice natural looking stars here with some red blue color, and you could see some hint of the background nebulosity too, and our nebula also appears three-dimensional. So I mean, I want to give this an idea usually how I do it, and this is actually very longer than I take. This is some sort of explanation that I'm doing for how actually you could simply use this Photoshop and Pixinsight together to make a very good image. And the reason why I combined the stars back in lighten mode, because the stars hide too much information. I mean, just look at this image. Does the stars look very good here? They are quite a distraction, but here you could see the nebulosity is more prominent, and stars are also not reduced 100%. For example, in multiple images I see that stars are way too much. I mean, they are gone just to show the nebulosity. Guys, you need to blend them back to your image and do that selective star removal or reduction. You could see here how I removed stars in this particular area and then gave this rest area a full stars here. You could see here too. So now this gives a three-dimensional look here. I mean, just you could see that this nebula is floating above the stars. I mean, just look at this region, and this, you could see the gap here, that the stars are behind and the nebula is in front of this, and it's floating in space. So usually I always promote users to try selective star reduction to your image. So selective star reduction is no script. You just have to decide. You have to see where you actually need to reduce stars. So you actually need to reduce in nebulosity where you think it can make the subject appear more enhanced. For example, here and here, these were my two important subjects here, which could be enhanced by selective star reduction. So guys, this is it. If you want to purchase my paid image processing package, it contains several 20-30 videos on advanced topics, and you could consider subscribing to my channel. Please, if you like the video, subscribe it, share it, and thank you very much.